everyone, and welcome back to Presley Mania. My name is Rhonda, and today we are going to delve into this Graceland scam a little bit. There was an article that was on the internet. I found it on Google. It was put out by NBC News, and we're going to get into all of that information. And they traced a woman down that they think is part of it. And so we're going to talk about all of that stuff and just kind of dish a little bit, and I want to get your comments, see what you guys think, get some conversations going back and forth, and we'll just do a little bit of, yapping back and forth. All right, but before we get into that, I want to address a couple of things that have been happening. The last couple of shows I've done, there have been some really nasty comments going back and forth. Y'all, please keep it clean. I mean, there is no reason to be rude and hateful, I know that there have been several rude comments made about why I'm doing these shows, criticizing all kinds of things, even from what my office looks like to how my hair is. So who cares? Who cares? These shows aren't about what you see on camera. It's not about me. These shows are about current Elvis news. They're about Elvis history, things that are going on. I mean, there's no reason to be critical and hateful about those kind of things. I mean, there just isn't. And not only that, I've had a couple of the viewers message me and say that when they make a comment in the comment section, that they feel like they're being attacked. And y'all, it's okay to disagree with each other, but do it in a nice way. Don't just hide behind the keyboard and think, well, they can't see me, so I can say anything I want to say. No, be nice. Realize that there is another human on the other end that's reading whatever it is you have sent and typed. And we all have feelings, and they can be hurt, the tongue can be a sharp two-edged sword. So just remember that you aren't just talking to thin air. You're talking to another human on the other end. And I want to let you know too that if I'm going to start deleting nasty, rude comments, whether they're directed at somebody that is commenting on the show and the topic that we're talking on, or if they're directed right at me, they're going to be deleted. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. Enough's enough. It's ridiculous. It's childish, and there's no reason for it. So all of that being said, I've gotten off my little told you how I feel about it and got on my soapbox for a minute. So now let's talk about the Graceland Scammer. All right. Do we even know who the Graceland Scammer is? Well, like I said, this one reporter claims that she found her, but I'm not convinced. Not at all. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what this reporter has found. And yeah, some of it is pretty compelling, but this is what I'm thinking. Okay, have you ever known the FBI to divulge information before a case has been solved? No, they don't. They don't talk about it. They are doing their own background stuff. They're looking into people. They're trying to figure out what they did. They're double checking, crossing every T, dotting every I before they make arrests. Now, after they have got it all figured out, they will go and they'll make an arrest, and then we, go through the legal system and process and all of that. But there is nothing on the FBI website about this woman um, that NBC News is claiming is behind it. Maybe they are looking into her, maybe they're not, but we don't know for sure. Um, there is also nothing on the Tennessee Attorney General's page. I can't find anything in the Memphis civil criminal courts. Nothing. I mean, it is like Deadsville, quiet, nothing going on. Um, but that doesn't mean that there's not stuff going on behind the scenes. So, my thought is first of all, this woman does have a shady past. No doubt about it. So, let's talk a little bit about her and then we can maybe discuss some of why I think that it could be deeper than what this is saying. Okay, first of all, NBC News, the people who broke this story with NBC News was a lady named Brandy Zadrozny. John Shoup also was part of a collaborator on it, and a Donna Mindell was a contributor as well to this story. They did a lot of digging on social media, trying to find connections between Kurt Nasani and the lady's name is Lisa Holden, or that's what she's going by now. Whether that's her real name or not, I'm telling you, I don't know. This, like I said, this lady does have a criminal history, so maybe she is involved, maybe she's not, but I don't know. So they traced her down to a little mobile home in Branson, Missouri. Okay? Well, we do know that there were a lot of things that was linking places in Missouri. Like I think it was Kimberling City. There was a P.O. box that this Nasani Investments had. Remember, there was also they claimed the notary that signed the documents, a notarized Lisa's signature. Her name was Carolyn Williams. So what this reporter did, they started going through Facebook trying to find links. They could find nothing on Nasani Investments. Y'all, neither could I. I mean, I spent days, hours on the internet trying to find something. There isn't even, that name is so bizarre, Nasani. You can't find hardly anything with that last name or anybody. And then remember, there was the Nigerian, someone from Nigeria chimed in and said that, sent a message and said that they lost this one, but they won many, and so they're going to let this one go. Okay, well, like I said once before, who would be dumb enough to try and do something like this to put Graceland up on the auction block? I mean, it is the second most visited home in the United States of America. White House is number one, Graceland's number two. Why in the world would someone think they could get away with something like this? It's beyond me. I have no idea, but obviously somebody thought they could. And like I said, this Nigerian was claiming credit for it. So there is so much that doesn't make sense. It's such a web. So, okay, I'm getting off topic. So let's talk about who this woman is that this Brandy Zadrozny and John Shoup have tracked down. Like I said, she goes by the name of Lisa Holden. She is also had other names she goes by. Lisa Howell, Lisa Finley, Lisa Sullins. Sullins was a name that she was married. That's one of her ex-husbands. I don't know if she has more than one, but that's what the article said. Um, the article claims that this woman has been in prison in Oklahoma, but she was in prison under a different name. She was in prison under Lisa Janine Finley, which is one of the aliases I just told y'all about. So let's talk about this lady. Lisa was born in California in 1971, and she moved with her family to Cleveland, Oklahoma when she was around 6. Um, she was the middle child of 3. Her older sister described her upbringing in a court filing as dysfunctional. Her parents owned a bail bonds business. Her dad was a Vietnam vet and a bounty hunter. And he also worked as a correctional officer at a state prison in Osage County. And Lisa's mother died at 44 from a brain aneurysm. Okay, well, it sounds like her dad was someone who was, trying to find criminals and bring them in and that kind of thing. And then his daughter ends up turning out to be a criminal. So Lisa's first reported brush with the law was in 1997. She was 26 years old and she was arrested in Salupa, Oklahoma for writing a bogus check. Okay. The next 20 years, her life was just constantly being in and out of jail, according to the article. She was in court, she was in prison, she was charged with various crimes, including stealing checks, credit cards, committing fraud, running con games, intimidating witnesses, and obstructing investigations. Her cases took years to wind through the courts, according to what's written here, in part because she was because she was often, I cannot read, she was often tangled up in other cases or incarcerated in other jurisdictions. But in 2005, she was hit with federal charges. Prosecutors claim she used fake Social Security numbers to obtain more than $180,000 in loans from Tulsa banks. Lisa pleaded guilty to one count of making a false statement in an application for a loan and was sentenced to 20 months in restitution. Okay. By 2009, Lisa was on supervised parole, but she couldn't stop committing crimes, and according to her parole officer, who asked a judge to consider putting her back in prison. So, according to this article, Lisa spent between 2010 and 2011 incarcerated in a prison in Oklahoma, okay? But by 2015, the parole officer was saying and recommended that she be put back in prison because she was doing some more shady things. So obviously, this lady has a past. But if you look at her picture, you look at where she lives, I don't know. It's hard to make a judgment based on how somebody looks, but I don't know. I don't feel like if she is involved in this, I don't think she's the only one involved. I think that it is much deeper than what we're seeing. I don't know if she's the first link to many that we're going to find. The FBI, I looked on their website, there is nothing there. And of course, they're not going to divulge any information until they have figured the case out and it's solved, and then we know the details, and even then they may not come out until trial. The Attorney General's office in Tennessee, I've seen nothing there. I do feel like that things are being looked into and investigated, maybe that's why there isn't anything else out there on this woman. Um, but I honestly, I truly feel like that there is more to it. I don't think if this woman is connected to it that she's the only person involved. It would take a whole lot more than this, I think, to pull off a scam of this proportion. Now granted, a lot of the stuff that came out wasn't well written. They did not they were not careful in the stuff they did. I mean, you got copying and pasting going on. You've got people forging signatures. You've got people, they take something Lisa signed and they're sticking it in there, and the documents were pitiful. How they claimed that Lisa took out this loan. I mean, none of it looked professional at all. It most definitely was a scam. But is she the only one responsible for it? I have my doubts. I really do. Maybe she's going to be the fall guy, the patsy for all of it. I don't know. But tell me what y'all think, And remember, keep those comments kind and nice. And if somebody says something that you don't agree with, well, you can disagree, but do it in a kind way, okay? I would really appreciate it, y'all. Anyway, this is just my little segment on what I think about the article that came out. My thoughts only on it. I just truly don't think that she's the only one involved. I will say this too before I end. I just happened to glance at my notes, and apparently this reporter traced her down to this little mobile home, and she knocked on the door, and Lisa came out and talked to her, it says, for 13 minutes and answered questions about Lisa's connection between Nasani Investments and the links between the two of them. And she denied everything, of course, as she would. But she said, and Lisa said that she told the lady that she had no idea what she was talking about. So the reporter said that after leaving Lisa's porch, the reporter followed up in a text with details of each Nasani connection. So when asked whether she had filed a report with the sheriff, Lisa responded with a cease and desist letter demanding the reporter end all communications with her. So within half an hour of the reporter's visit, a Facebook account had been deleted. She had a Facebook account under the name of Carolyn Nasani. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It is all very peculiar and weird, if you ask me. So I guess time will only tell if this is really the Graceland Scammer, or is there somebody else involved in it. I don't know. Stay tuned. But if I get some more information, you can bet I'll be sharing it with you guys. Promise. So until next time, remember, you only get one shot at this life. Live each day to the fullest, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.